We're going to be building another watch from AliExpress. Everybody's been really loving watching these videos. I've been loving making them. So here's another one. The difference with this one is that the case is going to have an exhibition case back so we can see inside the movement. We haven't done one of those yet. I'm also going to be installing a custom dial. This was £20. They come in the two different sizes. There's a slightly larger one and a smaller one. And this you can print anything you want onto. However, it's not quite what it seems. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. I'm also going to be installing a custom rotor. This is for the automatic watch movement. There's a little rotor thing here. I've got no idea what to expect from it, but what I'm looking at right now is not what I thought it was going to be. So again, this is going to be interesting. I've got some really cool little hands which kind of goes with the dial, and then the exact same movement as I've been using in the other ones, the NH35. I'll be linking the places where you can buy all of this stuff in the description. Without any further ado, let's begin. So let's take a look at the case. This is for my friend Alex, and his wife Jo is an artist. She's really damn cool, and this is a piece of art that she did that is now going to be on Alex's wrist. So kind of awesome. For those of you who may have watched my Japan series where I traveled around Japan, Alex came with me on that adventure. So this is for Alex. We've been friends since we were like 6 or something like that. But yeah, this is a lovely big case. It's in rose gold. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a really nice big sort of bevel or curve or sort of bulge on the sapphire crystal on the top there, and then it's got the nice exhibition case back so we can see inside. And then to go with the custom dial, I was hopefully going to be installing this blue little sort of rotor weight, but what I'm looking at actually is not a rotor. It's like a little faceplate thing that you just stick on. Is that not like a piece of adhesive there? Is that not going to be slightly damaging to the movement? I mean, it is incredibly thin, so it might not make much of a difference, but I can't imagine putting anything on that is going to be a good idea. But we're going to take a look. We'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, Alex can send it back. He only lives in Japan. This is the custom dial. Now this is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's actually a place that's very close to my heart as well as Alex's and his wife Joe's. This is a lighthouse in Jersey. Now correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I believe it's Corbière Lighthouse. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. Her painting is just so cool. Check out her Instagram. I'll put that in the description. But where this is slightly interesting is that it's not actually like a proper company offering this custom dial printing service. It's just like this dude on AliExpress. And when you buy the thing, you contact him. He asks to contact you via WhatsApp, and then you email him the file. And he doesn't print it onto an actual dial. This is just a thin piece of round metal. So it's not quite like a custom dial as much as it's just a UV printed disc with a hole in the middle. And what that also means is that there's no dial feet. So what it includes is these little glue strip sticker things. So we're going to have to essentially adhere the dial down to the movement. So if we get a watch at the end of this, it will be a miracle. So let's begin by gluing the dial to the movement. So this is one of the photos that the AliExpress seller sent me on WhatsApp, and this is just showing where you need to apply the stickers to. It's sort of on the edge of the movement. This is really quite a strange thing to be doing. It feels wrong. I'm sure there's going to be many people very unhappy with this. Also, kind of curious to see how this little rotor sticker is going to work. So let's just very, very carefully, in fact, we'll keep it in this because this is kind of like a movement holder, which is quite good. Let's take a look at this. How does that fit onto there? You know what's going to be really hard is actually aligning it when we place it down, because the sticker is just going to immediately adhere onto that. Okay, so that does actually look really cool, but I'm a little bit worried about how well it's going to align as I'm placing it down. The adhesive is just going to get all sticky and stick to everything, and it's going to be really hard to move it around, and center it, but you know, we'll give it a go. I just think that it's kind of a crazy concept. I thought we were going to be like unscrewing this and replacing it entirely, but anyway, what we're actually going to have to do is put this on first, because I need to sit the movement down flat then after that so that I can put the dial and the hands on. So we're actually going to do this first. So let's try and peel off this sticker on the back. There we go. Right, now let's attempt to stick this down. Goodness me. Well, that is on. I fiddled with it a little tiny bit more, but that is on. And to be honest with you, it's not too bad. I don't know how good of an idea it is, but I wanted a little surprise on there for Alex, and to me, that looks like the ocean, the kind of the waves. And given that the case back is open, I just thought that that would be really cool to see that. But I don't know how much I like sticking something onto a rotor. I just think that's a bit crazy. I don't think Rolex would be seen doing that. But anyway, let's place the movement down now. And you can see around the edge where this grey plastic is, that's where we're going to be sticking the little glue strip things. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so that's all of the little glue strips stuck down. Let's take the dial. There's a small indentation on the side to align with the stem. So let me go ahead and set that down. I'm gonna do it like this so that I can get it all nice and centered. Very gently press on that there. And there we have it. That is looking good. Okay, so it's time for the hands. So I ordered 2 different sets of hands. I ordered black hands and white hands, but undoubtedly the white hands look so much better. Plus it also kind of makes them look like bones. So these are little fish bone hands, and yeah, the white ones 100% look much better. So I just realized this dial hasn't got a cutout for the calendar, which is rather bad. I didn't actually see that. So we're going to carry on, but it's going to have an extra click, which is going to do nothing. So yeah, whoopsie, not great. So these hands can now go on in any way, shape or form, because there's nothing to align them to. As in, I don't have to set the time so that the date is about to change to know where 12 o'clock is. I can just push these down at will. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, the hour hand is on. Next up is the minute hand, and this looks really, really cool. So the hour hand and the minute hand are on. The final one to do is the seconds hand. All going fairly well so far. A little bit of a faff trying to align it, but you know what you're doing when you look at it in person. You just need to make sure that the hands are sweeping over each other and not hitting. If they're lopsided, you know, put the hand pusher thing back down and just sort of center it again. Let's go in with the second hand now. So the dial and the hands are on. One thing I think I would really strongly advise is that you don't go for like painted hands. I think the paint makes it really difficult when if you misalign the hands, you have to sort of wiggle them around again with the hand pushers. And I ended up slightly scratching the black hand. Luckily, I just used a little marker and it's completely hidden it. You will never see that again. But the white one, the white seconds hand, I ended up scratching, which is why I've put on the black seconds hand. But actually, I think the variation looks kind of nice. Maybe, I don't know, but it's the best that I can do now. Hopefully, Alex won't mind. It makes it look quite hard to see with this lighting, but the black hand is really nice and obvious in the light. So I think it looks kind of cool with the variation of hands there. So the next thing to do is put it inside the case. So let's take a quick look inside here. Right, we've got this little piece, which I imagine is to center everything because this case is quite large. We need to take out the existing stem, which is in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that quickly. That's achieved by just pushing down that little lever. Okay, so let's take the dial and the movement and everything and give everything a good dust off, and we can pop that inside, roughly seeing where it's going to go with the little cutout that was in that dial that I mentioned. There we go. And then we can just ever so carefully tilt it round till we see where the stem needs to go in. Take the stem that came with the movement, and I'm going to pop that in. There we go. Right. And then this little piece here is going to clip everything into place and hold it all down and center it. So let's push that all the way in. Make sure that is thoroughly down. And what we're going to do before we go any further is just screw down the case back and see that that's going to close all the way up. Because then we know it's all aligned. Okay, so the good news is the rotor spins absolutely perfectly and everything is in. So this is actually beginning to look like a watch, and it's really quite cool. It's a very unique look, and it's going to mean a lot to Alex. I think it looks kind of sick. I wish the second hand was white. I'm going to double check with Alex that he's happy with this. If not, I will order another set of hands and replace it, because I do think that the second hand is quite hard to see when it goes over those rocks. But everything else looks kind of sweet. So I'll check with Alex and I'll order that up if that's an issue. Right, so the next thing we need to do is sort out the stem. So we've learned how to do this now. We need to screw the stem all the way down, and then get my calipers. Okay, and between the end of that little barrel and the inside of the crown is 5.64. So now what we can do is open the case back again and just set that to the side, and then remove the stem entirely. Okay, right. And let's unscrew that little crown. And my advice to you on this is order a bunch of stems from AliExpress. Don't just trust that you're going to get this right the first time, and that way you've got backups. And I've realized as well that trying to Sharpie on the stem is just a complete waste of time. So here we go. Ouch! So then we need to file down the end of the stem. The end of the stem. It's quite poetic. Okay, let's see if that screws down. Getting this stem perfect is a little bit of a nightmare because this isn't a screw down crown. So what I'm doing is just putting it in, making sure that the stem is all the way flush to the case. If it's not, I'm taking it back out and just filing it ever so gently again. And that is absolutely perfect. Great stuff. Okay, I'm going to now put some Loctite on that, and that's it done. Whilst that Loctite dries, to try and make this as waterproof as possible, I'm going to very gently remove the seal that is inside the case back and give it a good grease. So here we go, let's pop that in there. and give it a little twist. Okay. Take that out and pop it back into place. Right, I'm going to set this crown in here now, once and for all. Here we go. That is it, fully in. Oh boy, it's getting close. Okay, then we can take the case back, give it one final little dust off, and screw it down. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, let's remove the protective sticker from the back. And you can see there. Oh, yes. Look at that. And you can see the little balance wheel there. Oh, goodness me. We can also remove the protective film from the front as well. Oh, boy. That is unique. That is a stunning little thing. Alex is going to be so pleased with that. And then to finish it all off, we have a little brown leather strap. Now, this was unbelievably cheap. It was £3. And to be honest with you, this will probably get changed. I'm sure Alex is going to want to change this because it looked good in the pictures, but then when it came down, I don't think it goes very well with the rose gold. But again, it is all completely personal preference, and straps are something that get replaced periodically anyway, but to be honest, I don't know actually. No, I think that does work. That does actually look pretty good. Oh man, I am so excited. We've been talking about this as soon as I started doing the watch videos. Alex doesn't really wear watches, and even if this isn't something that he gets a lot of use out of, it's certainly going to be a beautiful little piece of memorabilia of his wife's artwork. Look at that. Joe, that is such a beautiful piece of work. Alex, I hope you like this little thing. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. I've pulled the stem all the way out. Right, I didn't push it in quite far enough. That is okay now. Let's screw that back down. You know what, I actually think that is just so beautiful. With this little light you can see the loom on the hands in the sort of the eyeballs of the fish. It's very cool. If I just turn this light off. Oh, and the back of that just looks so gorgeous. I hope you like that, Alex, and I hope you've all enjoyed watching that too. I'm actually kind of a little bit speechless. This has been a really fun little thing to build, my friend. I hope you've all enjoyed. Thanks very much. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.